Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Sherri Simpson. I am your transformational life coach. Today, I want to show you how to use a pendulum. Many of you likely use a pendulum or know what it is. If you don't, this is a sample of a pendulum. It is a gemstone or a crystal on usually a silver cord or string, but you could use almost anything as a pendulum. So if you have a necklace with a charm on it, something that actually has a weight on the end, then that can be used as a pendulum. So a pendulum is a divination tool. And what do I mean by that? I mean that you can get higher guidance or higher wisdom from using your pendulum. So first you need to know, what is it? How do you call it in? How does it work? So your pendulum is calling on wisdom from higher guidance, and that could be your spirit guides, it could be your angels, or it could be your higher self. And so you want to know who you're calling upon to get the wisdom from. So you want to say, higher self, please come to me now. Or spirit guides or angels, please come to me now. So you know where the information is coming from. Otherwise, it's sort of willy-nilly. You might not trust it because you don't know where the wisdom is coming from. So in order to train or to understand the wisdom from your pendulum, I have 3 different choices, options. And so the first one is you want to know what a yes is, because your pendulum can't talk to you, but it can show you different movement patterns. And those movement patterns are actually coming in from your higher guidance into your body, and it's creating a little tiny movement in your body, which actually resonates down your arm, so that your arm, even though it isn't moving, allows the pendulum to move. And so when you say, higher self, please show me a yes response, I'm going to show you my own here. It doesn't matter how you hold it. Many people actually hold the pendulum over their opposite arm. You don't need to do that. So I'm going to say, higher self, please show me a yes response. I'm going to show you my hand, so I'm not moving it here. So my yes response is a circle that goes counterclockwise. And I'm going to say, thank you, higher self, for showing me that yes response. And then I'm just going to continue holding it, and I'm going to say, higher self, see, it's already starting to move without me actually asking it out loud. So I'm saying, higher self, please show me a no response. And you can see that it actually moved to be in the opposite direction. So now this is showing me a clockwise, which is a no for me. And I'm going to say, thank you, higher self, and it's already knowing what I'm going to ask it next. And I'm going to say, higher self, please show me a maybe response. And it's quite interesting because today, a maybe response is a straight back and forth. When I'm using my body as a pendulum, my maybe response is side to side. So that is how you get the wisdom of what is a yes, what is a no, and what is a maybe. Thank you, higher self. I always like to say thank you because you're building a relationship with your higher self in order to get that yes, no, maybe wisdom. So how do you use that? Well, what you do after you know your yes, no, and maybe is you start asking questions that you know the answers to. So I'm going to say, higher self, do I drive a white SUV? That is my yes response. Thank you, higher self. What else do I want to ask? Higher self, am I house sitting a French bulldog right now? So I'm not moving my hand. I'm doing my best just to keep it very steady. I'm getting a yes right now. What else? I want to ask a no question. So higher self, do I have purple hair? And it's saying, no, I don't have purple hair. Higher self, I'm trying to ask a maybe question. It's a little bit more challenging. Higher self, am I going to Amsterdam this year? Maybe. Almost like I haven't decided. So what you are then doing is building a relationship with your higher self using your pendulum to get yes, no, maybe answers. So how is that even useful? How do you want to use that? Well, when you're looking for higher guidance, your higher guidance is not going to tell you what to do because that's against your free will. So you never want to ask questions about, should I do this? Can I do this? May I do this or that? Because those questions are totally against your free will, and your higher self is going to say, I don't know, can ya? Because it's not higher wisdom. It's not guidance. They're not here to tell you what to do. So what you want to do is start asking questions that are more in alignment with, is it for my highest and greatest good too? Will it benefit myself and others if I? So you want to start asking questions that way. And then when you're asking your pendulum, excuse me, then you're going to be getting that higher wisdom. It's totally up to you if you actually listen to the higher wisdom or not, because you have free will. So I want you to allow yourself to use a pendulum. I'm going to ask for a yes response again. So that is my yes response. So I want you to start using this. So myself, I like to use my body now because I don't necessarily want to carry one of these around at the grocery store and ask questions all the time. So to be more subtle in asking my higher self for wisdom, I ask my body now. And I'll show you that at a later date, but you just stand up and you ask the exact same questions. You say, higher self, please come to me now. And then you say, higher self, please show me a yes response. And you just wait to see what your body does. My body moves almost the exact same way as my pendulum does. So my yes is a forward movement that goes sort of counterclockwise. And my no response, you would say, thank you, higher self. Please show me a no response. And you would just wait. And my body goes backwards and it wants to go in the opposite direction. And for me, my maybe response for my body is kind of like wishy-washy, like tick-tock, back and forth. So you want to know what those are. But it's powerful for you to be able to have this higher wisdom, because a lot of times we're thinking logically from our head. And we're thinking logically, well, most of the things going on in our lives aren't always logical. And we only know what we know. So if you're trying to figure out things about your health, or figure out things about your money, or figure out things about your relationships, or figure out things about your career and your purpose and how you're supposed to do things and who you're supposed to help and what kind of legacy you're meant to create, then you really want to have that connection with your higher aspect, with your higher self. This is making the hair on my arm stand up like a mile. This is totally a truth sign for me. So you really want to build that relationship with yourself so that you can get that higher wisdom. Again, you have free will. You don't have to act on that higher wisdom at all, but it gives you an opportunity to get the higher wisdom. And many of us, I'm getting better at this now because my psychic gifts are getting better and stronger. But many of us, we can ask a question of our spirit guides or of our angels, and we don't get a message back. It's not like a conversation. You can't get messages all the time from your guides. Many people can, and the more that you practice, the more you get them. But using a pendulum is just that obvious answer. So higher self, please show me a no response. And that is my no. So it's instant. It's like gratification almost, because you're getting a response really quickly. So sometimes you can write down, one of the techniques I use is if I'm asking my guides or my angels a question, I will actually physically write down in a book, like a journal, before I go to bed, a question. And I will set the intention that I will have the answer by the time I wake up, or I will dream the answer. So that's one way that you can do it. But I find that this is just far more powerful because you get the answers really quickly. So remember not to ask questions that are should I, may I, could I, or am I going to get this job? That's still kind of against your free will. You want to ask questions like, is it for my highest and greatest good to take this job if offered? Is it for my highest and greatest good to take vacation the second week of March? Is it for my highest and greatest good too? So you always want to ask questions that way because you're looking for higher guidance. You're not looking for someone to tell you what to do, because that takes away your free will. And that's just not why you're here on the planet. So let me know if you have any comments or questions about that. Let me know if you use a pendulum. If for some reason it's not moving, because many people will find that the pendulum will just move just a little bit. Mine is not like that. Mine usually moves quite a bit. But you want to know that if you are not allowing the pendulum to bring the message through you, it could be for two reasons. One, you may be dehydrated. If you're dehydrated, your responses may be in reverse. So if you're dehydrated, your yes might be your no, and your no might be your yes. So you want to know each time you're picking up your pendulum what a yes is, and you want to make sure you know what a yes is. And if you're dehydrated, just have a little bit of water and try it again. The second reason it might not move, or it might not move a lot. So mine usually creates a really big spin. You want to set the intention that you are allowing that higher wisdom or guidance to come through you. Because if you're not allowing that higher wisdom or guidance, or if you're afraid of it for some reason, then your pendulum might not move, or it might just move a little bit and it might be really confusing. So I want you to play with that. I want you to tap into using your pendulum. Know really truthfully and deeply what your yes response is, what your no response is, and what your maybe response is, and start asking questions from that place of is this for my highest and greatest good? So let me know if you have any questions or comments about that. I look forward to connecting with you soon. Namaste.